All right, guys, we're going to talk about the Airbnb situation in San Francisco because we know the real estate market in San Francisco is pretty doo-doo, but if you look into Airbnb industry, it's getting pretty bad. And of course, with almost 8% interest rates, insanely great rates for savings accounts, and just simply putting your money in places like Robinhood will get you 4.9%. Why in the world would you ever buy real estate, right? Because if you put 50 grand into Robinhood, they're going to pay you about $200 every single month. That's like really good. If you put half a million, you're getting like 2,000 because the interest rates are just so incredibly high. So who in their right minds is going to be putting their money into real estate and then trying to rent it out? Because if I spend, for example, $650,000 for this San Francisco condo here, I'm trying to rent it out for like 2 to 3 bands. That's not happening. And plus, record high HOA, record high property tax, insanely high mortgage. I will never buy a property like this. I'll much rather put my money in the bank. And that's exactly what's happening to a lot of big investors, especially in the Airbnb market. So Airbnb hosts right now are struggling to rent out homes because of the city's huge barrage of bad press. And here's the thing, I'm always skeptical when it comes to bad press for a city, but if you really look into San Francisco, it's pretty bad, right? You got a lot of homelessness, a lot of crime, and many of the tourist trap locations are not very safe. Even guys like Good Morning America has warned people to be like, hey man, be careful, watch out. And it's not just them, guys. Big shots in San Francisco. Salesforce, probably their biggest employer, right? This is going to be the boys of the Salesforce Tower. These guys, like I said before, employ thousands of people in San Francisco. The CEO has said numerous times that he's very mad about how bad San Francisco is getting. And every single time when San Francisco has a massive sweep on homeless people and massive sweeps on tents and huge amounts of law enforcement only happens when there's like a big political event, like there's an upcoming event for a lot of the Asian countries, or there's like a really big tech event, like the Dreamforce AI event. You got like Sam Altman, you got the Chat GDP guys. It's a big AI event in San Francisco, and they actually clean the streets, make sure everyone's nice and pretty. I actually had police officers pretty much making sure everyone is safe. He's pretty much saying, why can't San Francisco just be good like that all the time? So you do have all this bad stuff happening in San Francisco, and the amount of investment money that's being dumped into the San Francisco Airbnb market during the pandemic was enormous. You had people buying a lot of very expensive condos because in 2020, you could get a 15-year mortgage for less than 3%, right? I know some guys that got it at 2.3%, 2.5, 2.8%, incredibly low rates. And they're very happy about that. And so you have this over leveraging, right? People are banking on tourism to return, a lot of big investments to return, but suddenly, massive deterioration of the city with so many office workers gone. You have increased crime, increased theft, and of course, the whole defund the police situation doesn't really help either because now San Francisco is short about 600 to 800 officers, and they're even going to places like Texas to hire officers and even like upping the salary and bonuses to get more cops because they really kind of screwed up here. And you also have places like these, like look at this, 1,200 square feet, great looking apartment, pretty good location, $1.6 million. Back in the pandemic, back at the peak, you'll never find this unit for less than $2 million. But here we are, you could buy a unit like this for $2 million. And the crazy thing is many of the Airbnb guys who can no longer rent out their properties because out of 30 nights, it used to be you could rent out 27 to 28 nights. It was super profitable. You are going to be making tens of thousands of dollars every year. But now, out of 30 nights, Airbnb hosts are saying that they can only rent out 3 to 5 nights. If they're lucky, maybe a full week. And that's not enough to pay the mortgage, the property tax, and the bills. So we're seeing a lot of these units coming online to places like Zillow. But is anyone buying these properties? Absolutely not. Because one, the tenant laws in the Bay Area is notoriously bad if you want to be a landlord. If somehow you get a squatter, well, kiss your property goodbye because you probably can't evict them for the next 2 years. And also, you got units like these, right? Now, these units here are, some of them are very expensive, and a lot of people are actually buying some of these units. Surprisingly, there's still some transactions where people are buying these units or renting them out, but no way are they ever going to be having a big price recovery. And here's the thing, most of the rich people here are no longer buying units, right? And the scariest thing is, if you look at the San Francisco transfer tax in the property market, it's down by 2/3. They used to make $500 million to $700 million every single year from property transfers, which is property buys and sales. In the latest 12 months, they only made $180 million. Do the math. They used to make $500 million, now they make less than 200 grand. That just shows you how many people have stopped buying San Francisco real estate. And look at this. You got this unit here, $1.6 million. The latest price cut is 100 grand, and it's 10th price cut. And nobody wants this unit, despite it being a very good unit, recently completed. This is 901 Tennessee. This is a very lovely unit. This is not a bad unit at all. I mean, it's spacious, it's big, though the view is pretty lackluster, but hey, 3-bed, 2-bath, I can't complain about that. It's a very beautiful unit, for San Francisco, in a very good neighborhood as well. You got a parking garage, bike rack, got a little sky garden going on, but nobody wants to buy it. Because if I have $1.6 million, guess what? I'm putting that into brokerage. I'm putting that into cash management. I'm putting that into CDs. I'm putting that into bonds, right? If you have $500,000, just giving out an example, you put in Webull, 5%, Robinhood, 4.9%, you're literally making $2,000 every single month. Seriously, every single month. Because a lot of those cash management accounts, they pay by monthly basis. They don't pay after a full year. They pay by monthly basis. And this is what we're seeing here, guys. We're seeing a lot of people who have money, who have the money to buy these units. They say no. Because you put $1.6 million into CDs, you are making bank without risking any sort of money or headache. Because if you buy these units, it's not about just spending $1.6 million, but you're spending on, let's see here, over $900 a month for HOA, right? You're probably going to be paying a lot of, stuff like electricity, water, internet, parking. You also have crazy high property taxes here. Insurance is very expensive. Look at this. Almost $1,600 of property tax. HOA is $900. Home insurance is over $500. So if you look at this, you're basically paying about $3,000 every single month. That's crazy. Why not just put $1.6 million in a high-end savings bank? Why not put it in a cash management? Charles Schwab offers that as well. And this is why many of the people who used to invest in San Francisco real estate no longer invest in. And now you have a whole entire section of the Airbnb industry in San Francisco and the Bay Area. They're panicking. The tourism is down. Companies are moving out. Less and less office workers are commuting to work in San Francisco and Oakland. It's over, guys. Airbnb is becoming worse and worse. And now investing in real estate is probably one of the worst things to do.